get into this. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've seen a lot of negative stuff on Starfield. I don't think it's all deserved or warranted. I think there's definitely some like absolute silliness in the conversation when it comes to Starfield. There are some legitimate complaints and things, quality of life, that would make the game better. There are small improvements that would have made the experience overall more enjoyable. It's not a 10 out of 10 game, but I think a lot of the stuff that people are complaining about are coming out of a place where it doesn't make sense, and you're just picking on the most minuscule non-problems. And I honestly think a lot of it is coming from people who didn't ever want to give Starfield a chance and never will give Starfield a chance. But Actman is here to point out some of the worst hot takes on the Starfield debate.
Customizing your character in a brand new space RPG,
and all of a sudden,
you're woke.
You didn't ask for this.
Oh,
you
no.
Didn't choose
Came
this.
out of nowhere.
Yet there it is.
What's up, everybody?
We're obviously going to get into that, right? But like, that is one of the stupidest things in the world to be upset about. Games have been, RPGs specifically, have been asking about boy, girl, him, her for so long. And like, I think people are only mad because they added they, them, which again, it's a single player game. It affects literally no one except the individual user. So this whole notion of mine, do what you will, be it, harm no others. In no way, shape, or form does someone selecting they, them on their single player game playthrough of a game affect you in any real or meaningful way. Like, that is the stupidest thing to be like upset and argue about. I don't get it.
This is the adoring man here.
Who
and
cares?
Bethesda just released Starfield, what could be their biggest RPG ever.
Are you gonna play
And it's a good one.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna play this.
Hell yeah.
This is
Play
a
the
huge
shit
moment
out
for
of it.
them, Xbox, and all of us nerds who apparently didn't have enough amazing games to play this year.
Yes,
That's
we
okay.
were talking about this the other. Let's go back. Look at this. What an amazing year for gaming. This year has been such an amazing year for gaming. Dead Island 2, Hogwarts, Spider-Man 2 isn't out yet, but it should be good. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Spider-Man series, but like, everyone that's played it loves it. Baldur's Gate 3 was amazing. Final Fantasy 16 was a good game, but it kind of got overshadowed by a lot of these. Star Wars Jedi Survivor was a really enjoyable storyline. Mirage, I thought that got delayed till next year, but if that comes out this year as well, like, this has been Armored Core 6. Definitely, like, there's a few of these that are going to make Game of the Year really hard this year because it's going to be a tight race. A lot of really good games this year.
Enough amazing games to play this year.
I like how he crossed out
I didn't plan
Diablo
on
4,
touching
though.
grass until 2024.
Don't do it.
Personally, I've been having a shitload of fun with the game, and the most shocking revelation of all is how polished Starfield is. I think I've encountered
Comparatively?
like a grand total of 4 bugs.
What the hell am I looking at?
After Fallout
happened there?
76, I expected much
I haven't
worse.
had any
but
so
there are
far.
a lot of legitimate criticisms people have been making about exploration, loading screens, NPCs, etc. And we'll be talking about some of those legitimate complaints, but this is a hot takes video. Games with this
Right.
much hype behind them draw in a lot of attention, and with so many eyes on Starfield, it's only natural we should receive a bounty of terrible hot takes. Attention viewers, we are arriving at the surface of planet Hot Take.
There's been
Be
plenty.
prepared for a rough landing. The cringe levels
Not a
have
small
not been
amount.
fully scanned, and they could be lethal.
I'm ready, man. Ready to get it on. Yo!
So because Starfield is exclusive to PC, Game Pass, and Xbox, well, naturally
Oh,
the
God.
PlayStation fanboys have risen from their catacombs with a throbbing hate boner. One so
Yeah.
obvious they don't even care to tuck it into their waistband. But how bad could these takes possibly be? If you're reviewing Starfield and give it a high score, I hope you lose your job.
Attention. We are
Harsh.
now at DEFCON 5.
You gotta
Security
be kidding me,
lockdown
DEFCON 5
lifted.
already?
I hate the thought of the game so much that if anyone else likes it, they deserve death or fired. Obviously, everyone has to agree with my natural hatred of the game that I've never played, or it's just the end of the world.
Paul Tassi wrote an article foreshadowing this. Starfield is about to generate the most annoying Xbox PlayStation console war in years. I don't know
Can the
about
console
you guys,
war
but
just
John
die?
280165 fuck. I don't know about you guys, but I get all of my gaming information and opinions from John 280165804887. He's one of the few intellectual scholars I can truly trust. The console war is one of the cringiest and most degenerate activities you can participate in these days.
Like, it is so far out of control. This whole situation where they asked this employee of PlayStation to get fired because she plays an Xbox game and enjoyed it is absolutely insane. But she points out that inside the industry, they do not care about this. And like, it is so stupid to fight over the console war. Just give it up. Move on. Enjoy what you enjoy. Ignore what you don't. Live your own life. You don't have to like have this like team us versus them mentality when it comes to gaming. Just allow people to play games on whatever platform they want to. The console wars is the scummiest thing that I think is in the atmosphere of the gaming industry right now. And it has nothing to do with the industry and everything to do with the fans, the gamers that are perpetuating this like useless console war that means absolutely nothing. We should be hoping and praying for the death of exclusives to make the industry as a whole that much stronger, as opposed to trying to find ways to tear each other down and keep dividing ourselves between Xbox and PlayStation. And if Nintendo ever really wants to wade into that, like, Nintendo fanboys stay out of all of these arguments and they get left alone. For some reason, they're free and clear from all of this. Very confusing. But it is what it is.
Particularly upstanding citizen of the internet here tweeted this in response to me playing Starfield.
She should get
said, a lot of people
fired.
should be fired for promoting Xbox games on a public platform like this. Extremely unprofessional and demonstrates a lack of loyalty and seriousness to PlayStation.
Get the fuck out of here!
I can't
Right?
imagine any other takes are going to bring us to DEF CON 4. You cannot go to these planets because exploration was a lie. Jesus, it gets so worse.
You're talking about the gas giant? The gas giant that you physically can't land on because there's no land, and the pressures would be so great it would destroy anything that touched it, and that creates massive amounts of thermal energy that like you wouldn't be able to survive or shield yourself from. This is the problem. You can't land on a planet that doesn't have land because it's a gas giant.
Attention. We are now at DEF CON 4.
Oh, damn it.
This is one of the many Twitter accounts whose entire existence revolves around Xbox bad, PlayStation good. So this is their grift. This is how they farm interactions. If grifting is the only thing you do as a content creator, eventually you start to run out of material and you have to grasp at straws. And this is why he's saying exploration is a lie, because he can't kill himself by flying into a gas giant.
It doesn't let you land in the middle of an ocean either. So it established you can't land on water. Why would it let you land on gas? Can't land on a cloud, right? And like, if we get like deep into the science, like, yes, all of that gas under massive compression from gravity ends up turning into like a somewhat liquid and then a solid. But scientists have stated that those solids aren't like one solid core, but like chunks of solids that just float around each other in a tightly net packed that would be like a death zone of hatred and like collisions. So like, yes, scientifically, there is something solid in the core of a gas giant, but it's nothing you want to land on. I promise.
Now, for everyone who also dropped out of school in 4th grade, well, the community notes has got your back. Gas giants such as Jupiter and Saturn are not safe to traverse internally. Wind speeds are in the thousands of miles per hour, temperatures beyond any material limits, and pressure so intense that hydrogen turns into a liquid conductor.
Now and knowing is half the battle.
That's right.
Naturally, Cringe Thrash Gaming here was ratioed into the next dimension. He was hit with community notes multiple times, but it takes a very special brain to continue digging your hole, especially when everybody is saying you're wrong.
This is the hill I'm dying on. I want to land on a gas giant. I will die on this hill and no one can convince me otherwise.
These idiots made a whole article about me saying we should be able to explore gas giants. They somehow think this isn't possible in a video game that allows you to travel at light speed. I mean, clearly, they haven't played Mass Effect, but hey, I'll let them cook. When this guy takes an IQ test, it comes back negative.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
First off, you can't explore gas giants in Mass Effect,
Thank you, Gordon.
gastropod. And yes, your tweet was so bad, someone wrote an article about it to make fun of you. Starfield hater becomes laughing stuck after basic astronomy blender. No shit, you can't walk
Nailed
on
the
gas.
title.
Yeah. And you can't make a spaceship in the shape of a robot. But I guess we choose the unfiction now, The pressure at the core of Jupiter could be 100 million times stronger than what is typically seen on Earth at sea level. It should be obvious that no spacecraft could
It's a lot of
survive this
atmospheres.
pressure. This isn't Goku training at 100 times Earth's gravity. This is 100 million times. But I guess we choose the unfiction now. Dude, aborted fetuses have a better understanding of fiction than you
Oh,
do. Every
God.
fictional piece of media needs to establish its own rules and follow them. Starfield is science fiction and sci-fi has its own rules to follow. If you establish that a hyperdrive is the piece of hardware necessary to jump to lightspeed travel in Star Wars, then you can't let a fucking ship travel to light speed without a functioning hyperdrive. It's like, why
Correct.
is the Avatar the only one who can bend all four elements? Why can't Zuko water bend? Because he fucking can't. Because those are the rules. You
Them the
cannot go to
rules.
this planet because exploration was a lie. That's not a planet, it's a star, and you should be able to fly around its surface. Yeah, they don't let you explore the surface of the sun either. Why not?
Uh-oh.
Why?
Retard alert, class.
Let
Why
me land
not?
on the sun.
Why not? You can't fly into the sun because every material on the periodic table, every substance in our known universe would become nothing but plasma. Every other game lets you fly in and around the gas giants, but the biggest space game of all time from Xbox fans can't do it. And then this guy shows clips of Star Citizen's gas giants. So this is what you want. You want to spend 20 minutes flying into the color red. Is this what you play video games for? Star Citizen is a game that's been in development.
So, like, one of the big things here that I think causes a lot of confusion and hate and some of this is the fact that people want this to be a space exploration sim game. It's not. It's a space RPG game. The point of the game is to role play, enjoy the storyline, develop a character, develop bonds, and live a life in the space universe, not just to find new things. No Man's Sky, Star Citizens are more space exploration sims. They give you a lot more freedom, but they don't have the storyline and character development. You have to come up with all of that on your own. The game doesn't give you an organic way to do that. So, like, not understanding the genre or category the game is in kind of has led to some of this. And I can understand the confusion because it seems like it was sold more like it'd be a space exploration sim RPG, but that's a lot to load in every time you load in these universes. That's a lot of NPCs. That's a lot of storyline. That's a lot of, like, tracking development in where you are into the game on top of exploration. And I understand why it would have been difficult to do that. It could have been done better and given us a little bit more exploration with a little bit less loading screens. There could have been ways where they loaded entire planet systems at one time. So you jump into the planet system and you can freely go anywhere in that planet system. But that's not the game we got. And the focus is the storyline and RPG elements, which are really enjoyable. I've enjoyed the game because I came into it understanding that I wanted a single player story driven experience. I didn't want to, like, just explore anything and everything. I wanted the experience of the storyline, and it's a game that delivers that and delivers it fairly well.
development for over a decade, and with over $563 million in crowdfunding with no
it's-
definitive release date in sight.
It'll
I
never
don't
be
think
released.
It's a game you want to compare Starfield to. Then he also shared a clip of No Man's Sky's gas giants, but
Objection!
oh wait, No Man's
He's
Sky
not
doesn't have
in the
gas
planet.
giants.
Oh, yeah.
It took me 48 minutes to run across this planet in Starfield. 6 zones, about 12 minutes each.
Okay.
So not only did you fail astronomy class, but also 3rd grade math. I feel like this is what blind allegiance and console fanboyism does to the mind. Like facts, logic, and reasoning become something of a conspiracy against you, and everything else is wrong and everyone else is stupid but you. Apparently, people are also upset that you can't run around the circumference of entire planets without hitting like an invisible
That would be
wall.
exhausting.
And I have no idea why you would want to spend your time running around a planet doing nothing. Do you think it's fun in Minecraft to spend 820 hours running to the edge of the world? Well, it would take 10 times longer to do that on planet Earth. I get people testing this for curiosity, but to complain about it, like, you're upset the game doesn't allow you to waste more of your time.
You're off
Right.
the edge of the map, mate.
And I think one of those, like, if I'm actually exploring and stopping and going through, like, gathering resources, stopping at the points of interest and clearing them out and stuff like that, I get over encumbered so quickly. Like, I don't understand what the point of just running around the entire circumference of the planet would be, as opposed to actually going to the points of interest and, like, finding things to explore within the extremely generous large maps that they give for every landing site. Like, I don't understand the critique. Again, it's not a space exploration sim, it's an RPG.
Here there be monsters.
I would get rightfully roasted for pointing out the ridiculousness of swimming so effortlessly with a 280-pound spacesuit on you because it's a video game, so who cares? But everybody was so
To be
technical
fair-
about landing physics not so long ago. Landing physics? Landing physics? You think you can't fly into the sun because of landing physics?
Attention. We are now at DEFCON 3.
Again,
Getting a little worried now.
a little worked up.
Well, I'll tell you. If you believe such things,
There's a beast that does the bidding of the liberals. A fearsome creature with current-day tentacles that'll suction your face clean off and drag all your favorite media down to the crushing darkness. The pronoun.
Oh no.
They say the
this
wokeness
again.
of its breath is... Imagine. The last thing you know on God's green earth is the roar of the pronoun and the reeking odor of 1,000 woke agendas.
if you believe such things.
But luckily we don't, and the pronoun
This
is
has
just
been,
an ancient
like,
myth. So this guy's like, why can you swim in water
hyper-exaggerated.
while wearing a spacesuit? That's not realistic. Dude, in Oblivion, you can swim 100 meters underwater in full iron plate mail while swinging a sword without drowning. And guess what? Literally nobody on this planet gives a fuck.
Stop!
You want the game to stop you from swimming? You want to jump into the water with a spacesuit on and just drown? Or be forced to go in your inventory to take it off, get out of the water, then re-equip it? What a terribly inconvenient feature. These PlayStation fanboys are advocating for less quality of life and more ways to kill themselves. Starfield was 20 plus years in the making, so you get about an hour per year. Hashtag stay salty. No? No? Okay. We're good. Dude, homeboy just exposed himself as having never played an RPG before. F in the chat for this poor bastard who doesn't even know what a side quest is. Look at the way you fucking crop this. Look at how sneaky this is. Here's the real
Yeah.
thing. What's that?
Yeah,
200
the
hours
full
to
thing.
complete everything? You see how they try to
all like
deceive their own audience into
212.
disliking a game? Because that's all they know how to do. This is so bad. I can't even believe this got
And that's
green-lighted
like-
in this awful state. My God.
There's so much to do on the side that, like, the main quest is just exactly that. It's the main sliver of the game. A bulk of the game exists outside of just powering through the main quest. That's true in MMOs and RPGs. Like, a majority of RPGs have more to do off of the main quest than the main storyline, because the main storyline is just to drive forward a very specific character story, whereas all these side quests are how you get out, explore, earn money, and do all the additional things to fuel that main storyline. That's nothing new.
Why?
Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, I'll admit, this looks pretty bad.
It's not great.
No, it looks worse. Boom. The original creator of the video changed the game with console commands. This person stole said video without crediting them and omitted the info.
Whoa. You destroyed that guy without even touching him.
Look at this ridiculously bad thing that I forced to occur because I altered the footage and game files. Isn't it garbage?
Attention. We are now at DEFCON 2.
We're getting up there.
Oh God, no. Ladies and gentlemen, if the takes get too
We're
hot,
about to
take
hit the
cover,
red-
click off
the
this
red
video
button.
and save yourself. Gross. You can flirt with Sam Coe in Starfield. This is fine if you're a woman, but I always play as myself in a game. Ah, I see you too have decided to roleplay as a maidenless virgin. It's quite fun, isn't it? This also goes against the story, as Sam is a straight guy, just like yours truly. So why is the option there for males? There's a few things I really love about this. Number one, it comes from
Look, I mean, if you got the right charisma, you come at it the right way. Just saying.
the Gaming Christian Twitter account, and he makes sure to mention twice that he's not gay. Tell me once, okay, cool, no problem. Tell me twice, now I'm skeptical.
You are gay.
My brother in Christ. My
God.
brother in literal Christ. Nobody else controls the buttons on your controller except you.
Correct.
Can the hate boner for Starfield get any more erect at this point? I mean, it's kind of ridiculous.
Again, my point here is like people are fighting things that it's a single story. It's a single player storyline. None of this affects you if you don't give into it or you don't force it to happen. So like you're almost going out of your way to do something that you don't like and then complain about it. Like don't do that. You're the one that dictates how this story is going to go. I don't understand. Like if it's a bad option, don't take that option. If it goes against like you as an individual or your beliefs or feelings, like don't use the option. They give you the option to not use that option, so don't use the option. That's how RPGs are, though. They want to give you the most variety of possibilities so that you can explore it however you want. But it's your decision. They're not forcing you to hit on this guy.
PlayStation fanboy makes 1,000 accounts to review bomb Starfield on Metacritic.
Attention. We are now at DEFCON 1. Security lockdown active.
God damn it.
Oh no.
We're locked down.
Oh sweet Jesus.
I love nothing more than to be dragged down
This guy.
every fucking conceivable opportunity.
Why is he
you
so
can fucking
angry?
current us. Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity!
Yes, ladies and gentlemen,
So
it's true.
angry.
Starfield gives you the option to select 3 sets of pronouns in the character creator.
What? How can you do this?
This alone has caused mass hysteria, and to me, it sounds like a lot of... Sounds like a...
Don't do it.
Sounds like a lot of hoopla to make over a little role-playing, right?
Wrong.
A lot of people have finally unlocked Ultra Instinct mode and gone full ham calling Starfield woke. They say it's pushing a hardcore...
Like, I get it. The modern world is very divided and everyone is up in arms about everything. Don't bring that with you into the game. Like, who cares? Like, I get that there can be oversaturation of certain subjects or ideas in media and entertainment and everywhere else, but like, this gives you the option to ignore it. Just walk past it. Just enter the game, disappear, and like, that is an option for 2 seconds on a screen. Sorry, not sorry. Just don't pick the one that you hate and move the fuck on.
or liberal agenda and poisoning our precious media, our precious video games that we care so much about. Whether or not you think it is, you'd probably do a better job convincing people of this if you weren't frothing at the mouth.
Fucking
He's
current
so
day Californian shit.
angry.
If you want to play, pick your pronouns. then you should have an option to not enter pronoun.
Yes, agreed 100%. The fact that they
Oh, God.
force you to do it is the problem. The fact that they force you to do it is the problem.
But so many games for so long.
Problem. They're forcing you to do it.
Objection!
Show how it's optional. Okay, I will show how it's optional again if you want me to. Look, we can go through this again. There's me, king of pronouns. Confirm. Yep. Didn't have to pick my pronouns there.
Take that!
Didn't have to pick them. Okay, so you shut the fuck up about it being
I mean-
forced? Can you like just admit that you're wrong
Yeah,
about that?
no, it's
They're
such.
forcing you to do it.
Liar!
I mean, that's the point. Like, none of it matters, right? Wizard, like, why is this getting blown up from out of nowhere? But like, no one complained when you had to say you were a boy or a girl back in Pokemon Red, right? I don't understand. This has been around gaming forever, and like people getting this worked up about it is just insane.
And you would have a better point of argument here if the game allowed you to skip the pronoun nonsense.
Objection! Objection!
So what? Do I have a better case now? Good. You wouldn't survive a COD lobby is out. You wouldn't survive Starfield character creation is in.
What are your pronouns? Skip. Because the game understands that when you've picked the male character, you have male pronouns.
I think the first thing we need to look at here is
That's
the setting
exactly
of the
what
game.
it does.
Starfield is set in the year 2310, so it's
don't
definitely
know.
not far-fetched that people who go by they them pronouns exist. You may disagree with it, but at the end of the day, this is a very small detail that remains consistent with the setting of the game's world and doesn't break immersion.
Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity!
This isn't
So
like Elder Scrolls
angry.
where the setting is medieval times. A they-them setting for that game wouldn't make any sense considering the world is built around a time period where the request for a preferred pronoun wasn't a thing.
Exactly. Starfield takes place in the future, so he has to think people expressing themselves in a way that is not traditional gender normed. He has to think that is a phase and won't exist in the year 2030 something. That's insane.
In the future, gene therapy and genetic modification will have gone so far that not even the most conservative will be able to say that there are two genders. If you think that things are weird now, just wait until they actually figure out how DNA works.
I mean, this is literally just an option for role-playing purposes.
Well, if it's never brought up again, why do you even have to pick the pronoun?
Now, if you tried to start the game and it stopped you and put this big
never brought up again, why does it bother you so much?
You haven't picked your pronouns yet. You're not a bigot, are you? You know, then you would have a bit more of a case for the game being woke.
Accurate.
You take
It doesn't
everything
stop
we
you.
love,
Just go past
all our
it.
immersions, all our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit, fucking crap ideology into everything.
How do you be a conservative
So
when you are a living
angry.
Wojak? When you are like a subset of the soy jack?
Like,
We're playing game. We're just having a grand old time.
I don't want to
Meanwhile,
know
people on
like
the
how
right are
easy it
literally
is to like
creating new
set this
soy
guy
jacks
off
live,
because like
getting angry at this.
I get
over
angry
pronouns.
about nothing.
I think Bethesda's agenda
this guy's, like,
only goes so
frothing.
far as to creating more role-playing and customization options.
Because games aren't just a form of escapism for people who look like you. They are a form of escapism for everyone.
Think about how many sliders and other things you see in character creation tools that you don't give a fuck about, but somebody else inevitably will. Now that I think about it, okay, I'm putting on the tinfoil hat. What if the pronoun selection in Starfield is just a big psyop orchestrated by Todd Howard to get people to talk about the game? Free publicity. I mean, worked out pretty well for the Hogwarts
no such
Legacy
thing as
developers,
bad
as
press.
the boycott around that game seemed to have the opposite effect. I think we're all being had. We're all being pitted against each other as Todd Howard sits in his solid gold house counting his millions.
Who's laughing now?
Okay, but on the real, remember when Doom Eternal came out and Bethesda was criticized heavily for this line?
Demons can be an offensive term. Refer to them as mortally challenged.
This whole pronoun debate is so eerily similar to that because it's such a non-issue, right? One line of dialogue was all it took to trigger people to the surface of Mars. Well, our standards for what triggers people have gotten worse because all it takes now to trigger snowflakes is this. I think Dunkey put it best when he said,
In the character creation screen, it asks you what pronoun you want for your character. It's like 3 seconds of a game, which is like 700 hours long.
now, if you want to have this greater discussion of leftist political agendas infecting all sorts of media, I mean, go ahead and have that discussion. It's definitely happening in some places, but it's not here in Starfield. Wait! Oh shit! Look at this woke coffee mug I
Oh
just
no,
found.
not a
You
coffee
guys,
mug.
this is so
Here's
much
the
worse
thing
than
about the
woke
coffee
toilets in the-
mugs. And like, don't get me wrong. Who cares what the mug says? Again, it's something that doesn't matter in the game. As someone who has made a life out of trying to collect every foam cup to get rich off of foam cups at 1 credit a cup, and like coffee mugs are 55 credits a cup, so you better believe I'm picking up every coffee mug. Like, I've looked at none of them. I have picked up all the coffee mugs and not looked at a single one of them because I do not care. It does not matter. It does not affect the game. If you're looking at the coffee mugs to pick the coffee mugs that you want in your kitchen, then like just skim past the ones you don't like, because here's the thing. In real life, there's 9 million coffee cups that I don't like and probably 10 that I think are really cool or funny and want in my life. So that's not anything that's crazy. Just ignore the coffee mugs if you don't like the message on the coffee mugs, I guess.
Dead Space remake. I would rather shit my pants than take a dump in one of those. If you're trying to say this is woke, couldn't this also just be evidence that there's some corporation or company manufacturing coffee mugs with feminist ideals in Starfield? So in that sense, isn't the world more realistic and similar to ours? So what's next? Wait a second, why is Asmund in the script of this hot takes video? He couldn't possibly have...
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I have no problem, by the way, with this kind of stuff, but I think that if
Asmund's been fairly spicy on this whole like game. I think he didn't necessarily enjoy it. I don't think the game's necessarily for him. He's kind of weighed in on both sides of like different arguments about it, but I don't think he enjoys the game overall.
if you want to add messages in like this, especially whenever you have like pirates and stuff like that, why is it not possible that you can have like, you know, a space pirate with an Andrew Tate t-shirt? It says on it like all women are bad or something. And so I think this is fine, but it's just that, you know, the one-sidedness of it makes it takes it from being an escapist experience and it just turns it into bullshit.
The one-sidedness of it.
One-sidedness.
Every single person in this game owns a firearm. They have armed security in every single city, even in the bars of vacation resorts on Paradiso. I became a revolver-slinging deputy that used lethal force on the guilty and innocent alike. How much more like Texas do you want it to be? They got cowboy hats too, man. Never thought I'd show Asmongold in a hot takes video.
What about showing your friend in a hot takes video?
I could do that.
You're a loser! Being upset that a development team is mentally ill and spreading their degenerate illness to the customers is valid. Imagine if they asked at the beginning of the game if you wanted to kill yourself. Okay, so this is what normal people see when a game gives them an option to select their gender or sex or pronouns.
How dare a game do this?
And this is what Captain Sexual Assault sees.
Kill yourself now. You should kill yourself now. If you're looking for nothing, and you some table pumps. Kill yourself now. You should kill yourself now.
Fuck Bethesda.
Probably.
Fuck the political radical weirdos in the Western gaming industry, staining it with ideological clown world bullshit. What should first and foremost be an escape from it? Back to Skyrim. What?
You're going back to Skyrim? That woke leftist nonsense that forces you to pick a race at the start? God, what a fucking libtard, man. This guy is so woke. You see how easy it is to turn your grift against you? You see how easy it is to imitate it? I don't like ideology in my games. Now let me go back to the video game that has themes of imperialism.
Again, this stuff has been around for so long.
Memories of faded might resurrect the old.
This is nothing new in games. This has been around for a long time. I don't know.
Soul of America.
I almost refunded my game when Starfield asked me for pronouns. I still might.
Now, you'd be wise to stick a beer in your mouth and mind your own damn business, because I don't put up with this sort of drama.
They really do treat pronouns like some mythical monster coming to swallow them whole. So at this point, I feel like you guys have officially lost the plot. I feel like people on the right don't realize that they have done to the word woke what the left did to the words sexist and racist. Rob them of almost all their original meaning.
The dynamic could be a fair point. Completely shifted with who is the SJW.
You guys use the word woke too liberally. That's a funny pun. Like when people call someone a fascist. My first instinct is just to assume the exact opposite, because unfortunately my parents
fair nowadays.
The tale of the boy who cried wolf, rendering me a skeptic for the rest of my life.
We can't see past our own fucking reflection. That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda Western Game Company.
Is this not pinnacle SJW behavior? Is this not?
It kind of is. You're getting upset about something that doesn't really make massive
individual, and they were around back in 2017 or something, and they did this exact bit. Except instead of pronouns, it's something equivalently stupid, like him getting mad that there are more options for a white skin tone than a non-white skin tone in the character creator or something. If a person on the left had reacted like this, they would have been made fun of for the rest of their life.
The people making comparisons
everything
to
is like so massively divided right now.
Correct,
it's insane.
Entirely accurate.
It's exhausting. This is what it is.
Essentially fucking blue-haired feminist, fucking big red, Anita Sarkeesian, all this shit. Like, you are the same fucking thing. You are the exact same fucking thing. This is nuts.
Fair.
This is absolutely insane.
The Starfield discourse has
extremes on both sides are bad.
In a terminally online hellscape where a 3-second-long character customization option in a new video game sends them spiraling into a fit of Vietnam flashback PTSD and those who are functioning adults. Hard disagree, Mr. Raygun. I remember throwing my Game Boy into the scorching flames of hell when Professor Woke asked me if I was a boy or girl.
Oh no!
It's so weird.
It's been around gaming forever.
Freaking out over this guy.
So the person that says it doesn't matter then created another post because I guess it actually does matter.
As if that, it's a very, very big cope where their entire ideology is framed around contrarianism and you. And so they have to be like, oh, actually, you're the one that's mad.
So the guy that said it doesn't matter then created another post because I guess it really, really matters.
I think that my response to this is proportional to what I'm seeing.
Fucking current day Californian shit!
And this person's response, New Soy Jack's response to Bethesda including pronouns is ridiculously not proportional.
Over the top.
I think so many people have been
a little
fighting
over the
culture
top.
war online like every day for so long. They've forgotten what woke used to actually mean and why we started using that to describe media, articles, and whatever in the first place. You see, woke, at least in my own head dictionary, is a synonym for contrived. Deliberately created rather than arising naturally or spontaneously. The only difference between woke and contrived is that woke was contrived, but it had some basis in a political ideology. We used to call media woke when it had an observable negative impact on that piece of media. Like when people wrote about Witcher 3 being racist because it didn't have enough black people, that was woke. That was contrived. That was a conclusion the writer came up with and then implanted into the game artificially. You know, same as when I made that video on Link is gay and Ocarina of Time is actually a gay coming of age story. I've stayed true to my principles for like 6 years on this matter. It's not about politics in the game, It's what politics do you put in the game?
Yeah.
How are you trying
Forcing
to weaponize Starfield and the existence of pronouns within it to fit your agenda for your use?
I think that is a fair argument. Someone is perceiving the game or whatever in that way so that they can inject their disdain for that subject that they placed into what happened in front of them. Like they're putting emphasis on certain things that aren't really a problem. Like they're overlooking other parts to highlight something that's exaggerated in their mind for one specific small thing or detail.
YouTube video
that makes
on your
sense.
Channel.
I guess this is what they have to do. It's they sell outrage, they sell anger. They want
That
you
they
to be
do.
scared, and they
Be
want
mad.
you to be
Get
outraged
angry.
because they profit off of it.
So when people complain about the Star Wars sequels and how that trilogy is woke, it's not because the protagonist is a female. For some people that's the case, but mostly it's because the movies have contrived writing that takes us out of the film and that feels artificial. Admiral Holdo withholding her plans and information from Poe is contrived.
Stick to your post and follow my orders.
It's actually a literary plot device known as idiot plot. Admiral Holdo is a character born out of contrived, shitty, lazy writing. And this shitty, lazy writing makes The Last Jedi a worse film. It just so happens that people have made this connection between this sloppy, shitty writing in the sequels and what's been going on at Disney. This is a much more compelling argument for woke ideology inserting into our media. Starfield is not, and calling everything that you don't like woke is the same tactic as calling everyone you don't like racist or fascist or sexist.
Both of
and
them
here's
are
the kicker, okay?
stupidly
It's simply
wrong.
acknowledging any form of left-wing belief, left-wing ideology, liberal agenda. If the existence of the optional pronouns is all it takes to make Starfield woke, then what the fuck does that make Fallout New Vegas?
In Rome, I found a template for a society equal to the challenges of the post-apocalyptic world. A society that could prevent mankind from fracturing and destroying itself in this new world by establishing a new Pax Romana. It means a nationalist, imperialist, totalitarian, homogenous culture that obliterates the identity of every group it conquers.
A government
Are we
in the
going to
form
change the
of
rhetoric and go
Hobbes.
back and say Fallout New Vegas promotes a fascist agenda because you can install a fascist dictatorship as the new government of the Mojave Wasteland? Is New Vegas fascist? No.
Long-term stability at all
No,
costs.
but it has an
The
option to
individual
go
has
there,
no value beyond his utility to the state,
which is fair because it's
whether as an
organic to
instrument
the
of
like
war
plot line
or
and development.
Politics, how tiresome.
In conclusion,
Oh, yeah.
I think Starfield
Halo was
is a
full
pretty
of,
good
like,
video
politics
game as
between
far
the
as I've
aliens,
played,
right?
25 hours. And I don't know if I've ever seen such a massive and widespread hate boner for a new release like this. So yeah, those were some of the worst.
I don't know. Hogwarts had it pretty bad too. A lot of people went on the hate train on Hogwarts. Arguably, this one has a lot of people coming after it too. Hogwarts may have been worse though, because people were like hate rating and attacking Twitch streamers for even playing the game, whereas here people are just talking a lot of trash about it, right?
Worst Starfield hot takes in the galaxy. I need some more O2 before I pass out. But what do you think? Are you liking Starfield, disliking it? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the Act Man for more awesome content. We recently just hit over 1.8 million subs and I posted my 300th video.
GG's, Act Man. GG's. Everyone, like, there's the video. Grab it a like. Look, he pointed out there's a lot of stupid thing people are complaining about when there's some legitimate complaints that could be made about the game. At the end of the day, the game is not bad, but it's not a 10 out of 10 game, right? It has legitimate things wrong with it that can be addressed. But all of this stuff that over exaggerates all the like minor doesn't matter things overwhelms the space, so you can't talk about small details that you would like to see improved because everyone's focused on these things that don't actually make a difference in the game. And I think that's the biggest problem here. When you oversaturate the criticism to things that don't affect gameplay, the problems about actual gameplay and improving the experience cannot break through all of that noise to give developers the idea of how to actually improve the game and experience and immersion for individuals. Nitpicking small stuff like that doesn't matter destroys the ability to make a balanced argument for how to improve the game or what the game experience is missing in a more nuanced fashion. This game is a 7.5, maybe an 8 if you really like that single player story driven type game. It's not an open space exploration game, and if you like go into the game understanding I'm expecting a story driven RPG that is built around doing main storylines and side quests, and not I want to fly to every planet that I can freely and like go to random places and do things that aren't necessarily connected to that experience of an RPG, then you'll probably really enjoy the game. But you have to, if you go into the game with preconceived notions, you're going to have confirmation bias. If you think the graphics are garbage, you're only going to highlight things in your mind that support that position. Going into Starfield with the confirmation bias already predetermined is just going to allow you to form that based around nitpicking stuff that you perceive that stand out. But if you go in with an open mind, like anything else in this world, it'll probably be a good time if you like RPGs. It's just my 2 cents. And subscribe, do this stuff. You want all that? All of that. Hey there, it's Skeg Broggy. Thanks for watching the video. And if you enjoyed it, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and follow me here on Twitch for more awesome content. Link is in the description.